Hey, this is Steve Bloom, and you are listening to the Geekcast Radio Network.
Hello and welcome to Altered Geek Unlimited, episode 69.
69, dudes!
Yes, we made it that far. I knew Dad was going to say something, but...
Yeah, right, I did.
So, joining me this week is a full cast of 4. Myself and 3 mics.
Yay!
Birdman, a fat man, and I don't know what the other one was.
I'm a toothpick.
Alright. So we fit all body types here.
Pretty much, yeah.
So, ton of geeky stuff's gone on in the last week.
Oh, yeah.
I'd say the last 24 hours to be more accurate.
Especially 24 hours.
Some
Most
good,
notably-
some bad.
Most notably, some magical trailers that have popped up over the last week.
Well, I'm curious. I want to start with the bad because I've been pleased with everything I've seen.
Who's saying bad?
Dodd
Nice.
said some good, some bad. So I
Oh.
said I want to start with the bad.
One of the bad things that happened this week, and it's only getting worse each time you see it in the news, is Sony Pictures got hacked. And a lot of stuff came out, like salary data, medical stuff.
And that's why you don't
Some-
threaten the Koreans in a movie.
Yeah, well, that's who they think it is a suspect, which I think is hilarious. We may go to war over Seth Rogen and James Franco. But that alone, they have over 100 terabytes of data. They've released about 40 gigabytes so far. And, I don't understand how Sony Pictures could fuck up this large.
Because they had a folder called Passwords.
Yeah, that too. I was like, Jesus, you'd think you'd learn after the Sony PlayStation Network crap a couple years ago.
I don't think that the Sony this is tied to the. I don't think you can link the two things together because if somebody went, I'm pretty sure if somebody went after this could have been any company. It's not just them. If they went after Sony and all this stuff came out, but if they went after somebody else, I'm pretty sure you could walk away with the same type of information. Like if you want something bad enough, you're gonna get it.
Well, one of the things that the guys are saying the reason why Sony was targeted is showing the inequity in Hollywood. And even Chris Rock has done interviews this past week saying, you know how many black people I've seen working in Hollywood? Not that many. And you see how the salaries are different between men and women, which is, that's the way it's always been. Needs to change, obviously. And all that stuff. And I had a theory about all this. If they've got 100 terabytes of stuff, that's a lot. That's a lot of friggin' data. It wouldn't surprise me if in the next few weeks we see some confidential details come out about Amazing Spider-Man 3, the Sinister Six stuff, and Ghostbusters.
Well, okay, 100
That stuff's
terabytes.
gotta be embedded in there.
Here's the thing, and I don't know what they got, but apparently they've been putting movies up on the internet. Okay, 100 terabytes of information. If it's what I think it is, it's not that much because it depends on what they're. Has anyone seen the movies that they're putting up on torrent sites? Because
I'm not legally going to answer that question.
Okay.
One of them really sucks,
Okay.
though.
Here, all I'm saying is a movie in the theater, and this is probably not what they've stolen. They've stolen like screeners and stuff like that, but screeners are in, the gigabyte range for like a quality screener. And if by any chance it was an actual movie, those are in the hundreds of gigabytes. So 100 terabytes of information is not a lot when you're considering what all might have been taken.
Well, they may have.
Because it's not like it's all like
dailies
Excel
compressed.
spreadsheets. It's not like it's all Excel spreadsheets and stuff.
Video
There's probably a lot
games.
of like video and stuff in there. So it's not 100 terabytes of what is the question, and nobody knows. So
My guess is we'll see if something big happen probably around Christmas. We're going to get a Christmas present of some kind. That is
Lizard Squad's going to take down Xbox Live on Christmas.
But I want to play with all the kids that suck in COD so I can get some really good scores.
That just sounded wrong.
Actually, it's funny. There was this guy this week that I'm friends with on Facebook. He's my friend's boyfriend. And he says, you know what's better than Call of Duty first thing in the morning? And I gave the most asshole response I possibly could. I'm like, well, all the people that have school, work, and jobs are not playing, so all the kids that suck and are losers are playing. So in theory, you should have a really wicked score. Instant likes right across that comment. Thinking, I'm sorry, kid, you sit at home just like me on disability. Fuck you. I wait until at least after 4 p.m. because then it's not a challenge. Okay.
Okay, then. So, what trailers have you guys caught over the last week? I know that we've had a week and a half. Anyway, we've had like Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Terminator.
Terminator surprised
I think that's it.
the shit out of me.
That's it.
I think that was it. Yeah.
I'm probably in the minority here, but I was pleased by all of them. Most pleased by Star Wars. Surprised by Terminator in a good way, not like a bad way. And I liked the Jurassic World trailer, but I like Jurassic Park, so.
Okay, I guess we'll go around the panel and find out what everybody's thoughts are. Dodd?
Sorry, I'm chewing. The Terminator one, okay. When I first heard the plot description, I thought, wow, this is mind-numbingly fucking stupid. After seeing the trailer, okay, you had my interest before. Now you've got my attention. I think
wish
it could be really cool.
I just wish they would have taken more care with casting who's supposed to be Reese. Because
yeah, who is that guy?
It's Jai Courtney.
What's he from?
Die Hard 5.
Die Hard 5. He's also
Divergent.
He's in Suicide Squad.
Oh.
Isn't he playing like Captain Boomerang?
Yeah. He's one of those guys like Sam Worthington where they're trying to make him an action star. But nobody really likes him as an action star.
So I guess I'll just have to kind of wait and see with that.
Well, it's more so because he doesn't fit anywhere else, so they're trying to like squeeze this square block in like a triangle peg.
I guess I'd rather see him in an action movie than romantic comedy.
Well, and again, I'm not really down on him because I haven't really seen him in anything I care about. Like the last Die Hard movie, I'm not really going to hold anyone's performance in that to them, I guess. But I mean, I'm interested. He's not going to keep me away from the movie by any shot. I'm just saying, like, it because of the premise and what the trailer shows that he's playing Reese, which was Michael Baine's character.
Yeah.
And he doesn't look like that character. Like, unless it's not Reese, I don't know. It could be.
He's supposed to be playing Kyle Reese.
Okay, well,
see, the guy that's playing John Connor, I would have saw as a better fit. Although he's a little bit older.
But
Michael
I'm
Biehn
cool.
would have made a wicked John Connor now, but I guess he would have been too old for
I
it.
but I like what I saw. I like time travel stuff. I like when they mess with the timeline like that, and
I'm honestly surprised how, I don't know, it seems like it might work. And again, I've been disappointed before. I think of Terminator Salvation.
I liked Salvation.
I like a lot of the designs, I'll tell you that much, but I've got a lot of problems with that movie. But
I watched all 4 back to back a couple months ago in like a day, and I had fewer problems with Salvation watching them that way than I did originally.
So maybe the more distance you have from it, sort of thing?
No, well, I think if you, like, because there's a lot of like little strings and stuff that they pull in Salvations that if you haven't seen the other ones recently might get lost, like where the connective tissue is to them. That's what I'm saying. So, like I said, I watched all 4 in the same day, and I like Salvations more than I did the first time I saw it. but I also like Christian Bale. So and Anton Yelchin. So
Yeah, he's a guy that doesn't get nearly enough.
Check off.
he was
I love
originally
that kid.
he was one of the runner-ups originally to play Flash in the George Miller Justice League.
Huh,
I would have been down for that.
Yep,
that
me
would have been
too.
cool.
Now it's some kid I've never even heard of.
Yep, and I'm not down for that. So
What'd you think of the other trailers, Dodd?
Star Wars, it was okay. I've had many arguments over the lightsaber with people.
now, have you seen the Stephen Colbert argument on the lightsaber?
No, I have not.
He basically broke it down. I had a problem with the lightsaber too. I didn't have a problem with the black stormtrooper like everybody else is throwing a big temper tantrum
So fucking
about.
weird.
Well, the thing, it's not weird because if you think about it, I mean, this kind of.
Is he saying the temper tantrum's weird, or
No,
the
I'm saying-
casting choice is weird? Is Dodd saying it's
Oh,
weird?
I'm saying the temper tantrum's weird because
Yeah,
okay.
if you follow
The whole
the
internet.
canon,
Well, the whole internet blew up and started throwing a fit because they made it. Oh, heaven forbid a black guy's in the suit. The only thing that
Tamora Morrison wasn't exactly the
Well-
whitest guy on the planet.
well, the thing is Jango Fett was the prototype clone for the entire 2 and 3
Who
film.
isn't a white dude?
No,
Yeah,
but
and-
still, he wasn't a
and-
black guy either. So, but the thing is all of those clones would have had to have aged and died in
Well, that's the
between
thing,
3
though.
and
I mean,
4. So these
if
would
you
all
look
be
at-
recruits.
If you look at Star Wars canon, the only battalion that was still all clone troopers through the era of the Empire was the 501st, and even those clones were starting to get old and die because due to the cloning cylinders they used on Kamino, the Sparties, they had accelerated aging. So you're right, they would have died during that time. During the time of the Empire, A New Hope, they were using on-script recruits and people that just plain signed up.
Yeah,
Or-
like Luke even said he wanted to sign up.
Yeah, so a black stormtrooper, that's par for the course, dude.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of what my point on that whole thing was, is that
Yeah, I'm like, why are
he's a
people
recruit.
freaking out?
It's
And
like,
fucking Lando, space pimp.
And
Yeah.
honestly, where have we ever outside of just in the original trilogy alone,
No, you haven't.
did we
we've
ever
never seen Under the Helmet.
we've never seen what
They could all be
Actors.
black for all we know.
They could be clones of this guy. I mean, who knows? It's just such a petty thing that everybody's nitpicking on. I think it's because everybody's wanting to beat these films up
yeah.
more
No,
than's necessary.
I think it's that.
because of the timing right now.
I think it's that, and it's also because he's black.
I think so too. I'm not even gonna argue with that. I think, and I'll get into something else that's on that kind of page later, but kind of a different note, but still a film. But no, and as far as the lightsaber thing is concerned, I was nitpicking on that to begin with too, and then I saw the Stephen Colbert thing, and he kind of broke it down that, and I'll link the video in the post, but he drew like a hollowed out picture of the lightsaber, and then drew the things, and he's basically saying that in the hilt, that where it shoots out the sides, and there's the metal that kind of prevents your hand from slicing off on the handle.
Yeah,
That
I mean-
inside it's actually emitting the blade or the electrical part.
Yeah, there's
Like-
a diamond
So
or a
it's
reflector.
so all
in
it's
there
doing
for-
is protecting, like, the metal piece that's there is only just protecting your own hand. The other part is actually coming out of the same spot that the normal saber would be coming out of.
Yeah, I don't.
Because if that was the case, why wouldn't you just cut off the lightsaber heads all the time? You could do it in theory.
They've done it before. I mean, it happens.
I mean,
Yeah, so
or maybe the guy's blade is made out of, or the hilt could be made out of cortosis, which is like a Sith sword material, which is a physical sword that can block lightsabers. So who's to say? There's
that-
another thing too. I
I
saw
love
this.
I love the electrical effect that they added to it.
It
though.
looks like a very like raw, like not controlled beam, which I liked about it too.
So it kind of gave it something new. So I kind of like that. I mean, I was nitpicking on that trailer that ground only. Besides the fact that I didn't see an original trilogy person in it.
I like that.
And I know a lot of people
they could have done with like a Luke or something for even just a couple seconds,
or even just the back of the hood.
Yeah,
and just seeing like a green lightsaber go off.
I don't. Well, you know what? You want something with the lightsaber. The lightsaber noise at the end is Luke's lightsaber.
I know.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up, saying there was that sound right at the end of it. And
they have confirmed that that is his lightsaber. I mean, I was okay with it because of the whole, like, the minute, like I said on Twitter, they're never going to market Episode 7 as Episode 7. You will never see it marketed that way. It will only be in the opening crawl will it say Episode 7.
I know, because that's how JJ does it. And besides the other films, I'll say A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back.
That's not just JJ doing that though. That's
just Star Wars.
But that's how it's so that people don't see it as the 7th movie and go, "Oh God, I have to see 6 others," because now there's gonna be like 10-year-olds that have never seen like Star Wars. They're gonna try to bring in like a new fan base with this, and if they market it as the 7th one, that's daunting to a lot of people. And it was smart to. I got excited just seeing 3 new characters that I know nothing about, which I thought was impressive.
One thing I didn't like about it, and this is such a nitpick, was that girls on the speeder. It looks like a fudgesicle. That's my only real complaint about it. Other than that, I thought it was actually pretty cool. It was cool seeing the stormtroopers in the back of the gunship.
But the little tiny droid with the ball underneath them.
Someone already has a tattoo of that.
That is somebody's funniest Twitter account right now.
Well, it's funny because I've seen it as a D12 dice. I've seen it as a gerbil inside. I mean,
I like the FIFA box art for FIFA 30.
That's amazing.
Oh, the soccer ball.
Yeah. I honestly think the best thing about the Episode 7 trailer has to be, hands down, the Falcon. Okay. It has to be, yeah. Because that's amazing. Cool.
Did you like how they took where the deflector dish was knocked off of it in Return of the Jedi, and they actually had a flat one on there, like a flat casing over it?
It was interesting.
I never noticed that, actually.
I watched that in there because I remember it used to have an antenna, like a dish on the top of it, and it got knocked off in
when they were coming out of the hole in Jedi.
Star.
Yep.
And so they actually had a flat plate on there showing that it is a patch job on top of it.
I like the new profile for the X-Wings.
Yes, the X-Wings look amazing. The
wings fold down into one instead of being 2 separate wings.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I didn't notice that the first time I saw the trailer, but I've noticed it every time since. And
it's a nice evolution of it.
I don't know. I really like that trailer, and there's a really interesting article on Slash Film about. I don't know if you guys saw it, about how this is probably one of the most important trailers we've had in a long time, because it's like a franchise that we all know and love, but we don't know anything about it, like nothing. I know nothing about this Star Wars movie. Versus like when we saw the trailer for Episode 1, yeah, we all got excited about it, but you knew the story that they were going to tell. You knew what characters were in it, where it was going to go, where it had to go.
It's almost like watching the original trilogy for the first time.
Yeah, we have no. I don't know who any of those characters are that they showed in the trailer. First of all, and I mean, a lot of that is me not going digging through rumor stuff because I kind of want to go in a little blind into this one. But I totally understand what they're saying, because the spin-offs, the trailer for like the Death Star heist that they're planning, like that one sounds really cool, but that trailer is not going to have the same impact that this one does.
Yeah.
Because we know where that movie's going to end up. Like, and this isn't going to happen for 8 and 9 because we're going to know who these characters are. And
well, even then it'll still kind of be that way, only for the fact that we don't really know what story they're going to tell with them yet.
Yeah, but like I said, don't know who the players are. It's like
you'll know the players.
With Episode 1, we knew who the players were, and we just didn't know, and we knew where it was going to go. It's like we'll have half of the thrill will be there.
Well, we still knew who 6 of the characters are going to be in this series too. So, and they're all from the original trilogy. two of which are actually from the entire series. So R2 and, and C-3PO and all those guys. So, but I did find myself very enthusiastic about that film after watching the trailer probably 10, 12 times.
I did.
You know what? I'm more excited for Terminator than I am Star Wars, and that's something for me to say.
Well, I just got the chance to watch the Terminator trailer, like, I don't know, probably 6-7 hours ago. And I get that feeling that they were like doing a soft reboot because it's, of course, time travel, but it was also kind of touching on T1 and T2 without really having to retell the same exact story.
Yeah.
And I actually did find myself liking it. Terminator 3 was kind of and I didn't see
okay.
I didn't see Salvation, so
Salvation is worth seeing once, at least once.
I have more problems with Terminator 3 than I do with Salvation.
3 was just terrible. But
although I will say this in defense of T3, and it's kind of an odd defense, the commentary for that movie is really good. I don't know why. It was the first DVD commentary I ever listened to, so maybe it's nostalgia speaking, but no, I really enjoyed the commentary to that one.
I think with these trailers, I think they've actually hit the nostalgia at the right place, but not actually having to step all over it and still being able to create something new.
I wish Jurassic World had been different.
What was that, Mike?
I wish Jurassic World had been different.
So yeah, that's what I want to talk about next. I wouldn't say I'm indifferent to Jurassic World. I mean, it looks cool, but I don't know. I mean, when I saw Jurassic Park in the theaters as a kid, I was in the 5th grade. I saw it in theaters 5 times. I've read the book countless times, and I've seen every sequel in theaters. I don't know. I'm going to see this one. It's probably not an opening weekend for me, but I'm interested, but not super hype. I don't know. I wanted to be more excited than what I am.
I was legitimately excited for it until Star Wars trumped it. Yep. But for me, like, and I'm okay when I say I wish the trailer had been different. I'm not disappointed by anything I saw in the trailer. I'm totally fine with it because that's Jurassic Park. That's what it is. If you're expecting something different, I'm sorry. But like, I just wish the trailer had been more of selling me on the park. Maybe like a 2.5-minute Disney infomercial, but done Jurassic Park style.
Yeah, like if they'd done it as like a vacation package promo video, that would have been awesome viral marketing for one.
Yeah, but don't give me the twist of the movie. I know the twist. It's a Jurassic Park movie. Just like sell me on, because clearly the park has been open for a length of time. So it's like, sell me on the park, and then maybe tease the D-Rex by saying like there's a new attraction coming to the park or something. Like, this summer, come check out our new attraction, a dinosaur you've never seen before. Like, and just kind of tease it that way. Yeah. Rather than just like, all of a sudden giving you the twist that is coming in the trailer. That's what I mean. I just wish it would have been done differently.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat with you on that. I wish it had been a different approach. The only other trailer I could think that's come out in the last couple of months that's got me super, super beyond hyped, and this is so old news, was the Age of Ultron extended trailer.
With them trying to lift the hammer? Yeah,
I really like that, and the whole "There's No Strings on Me" song playing in the background, which I always thought was kind of cool. I'm trying to think what other big trailers are still yet to come in the next few months that we haven't even seen yet. Because now we've got Terminator, we got Jurassic World, Star Wars. What are we missing here?
I feel like there's something else in May.
Isn't Ant-Man coming out?
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man, that's 2016, isn't it?
No, that's next year. Yeah. No, that's sure 2015. Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's next July.
My guess is Super Bowl.
Oh, come on.
Well, that's when we're going to see a lot of the big trailers drop.
At like Super Bowl, for sure.
It won't be on Super Bowl. It's on Avengers.
Oh, well, fucking it.
Yeah, because Avengers needed more money. So let's slap a Star Wars trailer on the front of it. There's something I cannot think of what it is right now.
You think we'll get a teaser for Batman versus Superman? Actually, can we talk about that fucking mess, please?
You mean Justice League Part 1?
Yeah, Justice League 1, where they introduced Doomsday. Superman's ultimately one of his greatest...
Now there's talks of the Joker.
I don't understand. We don't... whatever. We don't know how big these parts are. We don't know if they're like after credit sequences. We don't know what they are. I don't know why people are...
I have a feeling that they're
Doomsday is going to be the primary villain.
I don't think so. I think this film's going to be setting up a lot of stuff. I do think Batman and Superman are going to fight. I think Lex Luthor is going to play a bigger role than what we think. And then I think all the other characters are going to be just kind of either already in existence in continuity, or they'll be a passing mention, or we might see something happen in the battle between Batman and Superman causing some of this.
See, one of the theories I've got is I think Doomsday is going to be an invention of LexCorp. Like, probably they took one of the Kryptonian bodies from Zod or Ursa or something, or Non, and reverse engineered it, and it went nuts. So kind of like Bizarro, but less stupid. That's how I think it's probably going to go. I don't know. Like we said, it's Justice League Part 1, but they're cramming way too much crap into it.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I think they're going to go with what Marvel has the new approach with their movies, where they're not going to do origin tales anymore.
They're just stories.
They're just going to be there.
Yeah, they're just going to be there, and I think DC might be kind of taking that. I mean, they might just be taking it like a step further. Like, these movies, these characters exist in this world. These people know each other. We're not telling like when I hear about a character being in a movie, I don't immediately. I think a lot of people like frown on it because it's like that character either didn't have an origin, or they think they're going to get some stupid like 5 to 10 minute that's going to eat up the movie with like who this character is. Whereas I think it's just more going to be like, we're going to know who those characters are, and it's going to be cool fan service. And as long as they fit into, like, they don't like overshadow the main thing, I think other people that go, like the mainstream audience that goes to see the movie, that was a really interesting character.
Okay, all right.
You know, it'll be kind of like the way like Arrow does it. I know like they don't really, the left hand and the right hand at DC don't talk to each other, but Arrow does this really well because they had Solomon Grundy in an episode, and
what?
His name dropped.
Yeah. Oh. Well, no, the guy's name was Gold. He eventually becomes Solomon Grundy. And he was super strong like Solomon Grundy was.
But he wasn't an undead zombie thing yet.
Not yet. He was on his way there, but he wasn't at the time. But he was Cyrus Gold. Yeah. So
that's cool as shit.
But they did that. They in those shows, they name drop these characters and they don't get in the way of anything. It's just that this character exists. He's there. But maybe when you think of it as a movie and not like a 22 episode season, you think, oh my gosh, they're cramming all this stuff in there. But if you think of like who could possibly play a scientist at Star Labs, maybe we throw Cyborg in there. He could be working at Star Labs, and now you've got like a branching off point to other stuff. It could be heavy-handed.
I'm slightly more optimistic about Suicide Squad now.
Yeah.
I think Will Smith as Deadshot's an interesting choice.
Well, now, I think it's almost akin to the Sam Jackson playing Nick Fury.
I mean, he wears a mask anyway, so what's the matter? But the way I understand the character now, I only know him from the role-playing game. I haven't seen the depiction on Arrow, and I haven't read comics with him. He seems to me like a super serious dude.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of risks. I don't see. There's something about Will Smith's voice and portrayal of that I don't necessarily see. But Will Smith is a really good actor, so maybe I'm just not seeing it.
Well, think maybe iRobot.
Yeah, I'm thinking iRobot. Yeah, all right.
As far as like some of the vocal performance, not necessarily the actual
or Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Another one, I'm liking the Jared Leto as the Joker more and more.
Seriously?
I'm not sure, but I've not watched anything with him in it.
See,
I know that he does the transformation thing.
Club.
The thing is, with Leto, I'm okay with it because here's the thing. Every article I've seen with Leto has the exact same comment section that looks just like the comment sections when they announced Heath Ledger was going to be the Joker, and y'all can go F yourselves.
Well, I'm not making a judgment either way. I don't know what his performances do. I don't really give a shit about half the films he's been in, and I probably won't watch them anyway. I'm going to end up watching it regardless because it's a DC film.
I mean, all I'm saying is we've been here before with the Joker, and everyone's had exactly the same things to say, and then everyone got to go and eat a pile of crap because you were all wrong.
I did. Actually, very famously on Twig, Steve Saylor quoted me on saying, Heath Ledger's going to suck as the Joker, and if he does, I have to eat my hat or something. And I remember we did a show when The Dark Knight came out. He's like, so, Mike, how's that hat taste? I'm like, fuck you, Steve. But I was totally wrong, and that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping Leto knocks it out of the park.
Well, I think he'll play it. I think he'll play it well. Like I said, I don't know enough of his performance to actually be able to give a logical argument either way.
But is there a role you could have seen? I mean, realistically,
I really don't see anybody else playing it since Ledger.
But not. I'm not even talking about that. I mean, like, just look at Ledger's performances before he did the Joker. Like, there's not a whole lot.
First Night.
First Night. He was in The
Brothers
Patriot.
Grimm.
Well, no, I can think of the roles he was in. I'm saying those roles didn't. I think of
totally
those roles
different.
and they don't go, he'd make a good Joker.
Yeah, they didn't translate.
That's what I'm saying. Like an actor's body of work doesn't necessarily 100% reflect a role that they could possibly do. A good actor, I think, can transcend roles.
Well, look at Keaton. He was the first one to get the shitstorm for comics, and he was doing all comedies, and then all of a sudden he's Batman.
And then he became the Ken doll. For me, with Leto, I don't really care about him. It has nothing to do with his film work at all. It has to do with the fact that he was the lead singer of 30 Seconds to Mars, and I just can't picture his voice, whether it's singing or speaking, as a Joker voice.
Is that where he came from?
That's where he started, lead singer, 30 Seconds to Mars. I'll send you a couple of songs that he did off his first album that I have.
Oh, I've got the album. I didn't know that was him.
Yep. Yeah. Capricorn is their biggest hit. But that's really the only
from Guitar Hero.
But that's really where I know him from. I haven't seen him I haven't paid attention to his acting career. So as far as his acting goes and acting like the Joker, I don't really have an opinion either way. I'm not on the bandwagon of, this is going to suck at all. It's just one of those things where from hearing his voice in the past and hearing his singing voice, and I know the Joker isn't going to sing in this, but it's one of those things where it's like, I just don't think he has a voice for the Joker.
And again, Heath Ledger.
Yeah,
I know. I know.
And I've heard that he tends to transcend and change into whatever he...
Also,
he blends in very well with the characters. So
Heath doesn't sound like any other interpretation of the Joker I know either.
No,
he made that. He made that
kind of dark and scary in how he talks.
So,
girl that plays Harley Quinn, I think that's fantastic.
Yeah,
I dropped that. She's goddamn hot. Just saying.
I don't like the heat that. I mean, Will Smith's gotten kind of the same backlash for being Deadshot.
I'm indifferent.
I saw it on even the on the Geekcast radio thing, and I wanted to jump in there and tell that guy to
Who said that?
F himself. He was talking about how he doesn't like that. I don't even know who it was. He said that he doesn't like that they'll change races for a character.
What post was
Give
this?
Shit.
Yeah, well, I've said that before too, but it's not necessarily for the same reason.
I don't know if he was saying it because he's like, that, but I mean, I just wanted to respond with what does it matter as long as it's a good actor? And, but I couldn't do that without posting from, my, I was on my phone. I can't post to the Geekcast stuff without posting from Geekcast.
Yeah, I, like myself, I kind of saw it as like the interpretation they went with Nick Fury. He was white before, they made him black, and Sam Jackson plays a kick-ass Nick Fury.
Sam Jackson plays a kick-ass everything. I don't think.
But I mean, Will Smith is a good actor, so I mean, I don't see a problem with it either way. Like, if they would have cast some nobody in there, I probably would have been a little bit hesitant. But I'm sure
I'm happy that it's not. I'm happy it's not DJ Qualls.
Well, at least they are talking about hiring Oprah as Amanda Waller.
I'd be okay with that.
That would have been awesome. Oprah as Amanda Waller.
I don't like her personally, but I could see her playing it.
They should go back and get like Pam Grier, like go back in time and pluck her out of like the 1990s.
Why couldn't you just get CCH Pounder?
Yeah, really.
Stop stealing my lines. It's exactly what I was just gonna say. Why can't you use CCH Pounder? I mean, she's done it already. She did it in the DC animated universe, and she's done it in multiple of the DC universe animated movies, so she would make a great live action Amanda Waller. Just go watch her on The Shield.
Wasn't she the voice of Amanda Waller?
Yep.
Yeah.
She looks the part too.
Yeah.
Make this shit happen, guys.
Yep. Has everyone seen the Flash Arrow crossover this week?
I haven't seen the second part, but I saw the first one.
I've watched both.
You guys are missing out.
It's not like I'm not going to watch it.
No,
it's legit. I was surprised how well they actually pulled it off.
Now, did you notice now you've all seen the first part?
No. Nope.
Yes.
Okay. Well, the first part they reference. Do you care if I give that away?
No, you're not.
Yeah, whatever. It's cool.
Okay. They reference almost like a Green Lantern-esque color infection. They have a villain that channels rage through like red eyes. The
Rainbow Raider.
Yeah. So, and I've never heard of this character before, so that's something new for me. But it almost kind of gave me that Green Lantern vibe, where you have the red lantern, the Green Lantern, the blue lantern, all that. So they had to use like blue and purple and like pink colors to put Barry back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's a form of real cognitive therapy, as far as I understand.
It is, but I
thought it was really cool, though.
But I mean, I also saw it as like how the rings work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How to rebalance somebody with the, so I kind of got like a little reference for that and that, and then they had Captain Boomerang in part 2. So
now this is my first experience with Arrow. Actually,
I've
never seen the show. Yeah, I'm just getting into it now. Like I'm gonna watch it over Twig's winter break. I like that guy, and I hope these two universes don't do crossovers like every friggin' week. But now
I don't think they're going to.
Supposedly, Star Labs will send tech to them, and they might send tech back to the other guy, and the dude's going to become the Atom pretty soon, the Ray Palmer dude.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be pretty kick-ass. I like how DC's shared television universe has potential to be really awesome. And when they bring in like the Teen Titans stuff and Supergirl.
Supergirl's a possibility. Teen Titans isn't.
I thought they said they were.
No, they said it's not continuity.
Supergirl's possible because it's on CBS, and that's a parent company of the CW.
Yeah,
and it's
CBS
the same,
and Warner Brothers own
CW.
CW,
and it's the same. What the heck is his name? Same producer,
Greg Berlanti.
Yeah. It was your post, Mike, when you were talking about...
I didn't say it. I didn't... Whatever it was, I didn't do it.
No, you posted the Suicide Squad article with your what the F, and then... a guy down below, I won't say his name, just said, I hate when they change races out of the blue. Boomerang is supposed to be white and Irish, and Deadshot is white, too. Who the heck cares?
Yeah,
Well, for one, the films...
Isn't Jai Courtney white?
As far as I can tell. No, he's just colored that way on TV. Like the films, they're going to do whatever they're going to do with the films. They're just trying to sell a seed. It doesn't really matter. But
like we said before, I'd be more worried about it if they didn't cast capable actors.
Yeah, that's more so what I'm concerned about is if, like I said, if they cast a bunch of nobodies that I've never heard of, I'm going to have extreme skepticism, whereas all these people, I've pretty much heard about most of them.
The one guy I've never heard of is Rick Flag.
He was... How much of Justice League have you seen?
I've watched all of Justice League. I'm not too familiar with him.
And Unlimited?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with it either.
Remember the episode Task Force X?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was in that as the Colonel.
Okay.
He was the one that brought the team together.
Okay.
Under Waller.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's my only interpretation of that character, so more power to him.
The only thing I wish is that if something's like pertaining to their television universe, that they didn't announce so much of it for the film universe, because it kind of detracts from it. And I know that the Arrow actor has said basically the same thing.
Man, I'm worried if he says too much.
I'm worried he might bite himself out of a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said. What did he say? He said,
but he's saying
wants
it
a
like
Gotham
with
Arrow
respect
crossover
to some degree.
Yeah.
Like he's saying, I'm sure that they're very capable, but he's also throwing his pot shot in there.
I think Arrow has the numbers and the popularity. I don't think
it's not going anywhere.
But the numbers were not as high as like say Flash. They've never been as high as Flash, and because of the crossover, it actually boosted Arrow's ratings.
Right, but what I'm saying is Arrow has been on for 3 years now. The guy has been doing a damn good job the entire time. It's not like he pulled a Jason Biggs, got in a fight on Twitter with his wife and got fired and had to be replaced by Seth Green of all people. So I mean,
was that the real reason he was fired?
Yeah. Besides that, his talking about
it's
fucking pies and stuff like that.
Turtles. It's the Turtles cartoons.
They didn't want to be associated with his adult humor and comedy. So and the pissing and moaning.
I mean, Amel speaking up and saying that he would like to see them that he would like to see a Gotham crossover. I honestly don't think
he wasn't even talking about that. It was the fact that they, like the Flash, they announced the new Flash actor for the film right before they started the series.
That's right. Yeah, I just think that DC's television is doing so well right now where it is. I don't think that they're going to do a lot of Flash Arrow crossovers. I think this was the one big event because we still have to build up the Flash's universe. I mean, this coming week we're getting Reverse Flash for the mid-season finale.
And Ra's al Ghul.
And, in Arrow, yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, there was supposed to be 2 this year.
2 what?
2 crossovers.
Okay, maybe there are, but I'm saying, like Mike was saying that he doesn't want it to... Dodd was saying he doesn't want to have them constantly cross over. I don't think they are. Yeah, no, I don't think they're going to do that.
I think it's only on certain cases. Like this was 2 more or less.
But you've had even before this though. You had characters even for this crossover. You had characters that are in the Flash show up in Arrow, and then characters that were in Arrow show up in Flash.
Well, okay.
Well, that kind of makes.
Answer me this. Who was the dude on fire at the end of the Flash episode?
Firestorm. That's also Ronnie Raymond. That was the guy that was in the particle accelerator.
It's Caitlin's boyfriend.
It's Mel's brother.
Fuck yeah.
Killer Frost. No, it's his cousin.
I thought it was his brother.
No, that's his cousin. I thought so too. I looked it up.
Huh. They look an awful lot alike to be cousins.
Yeah. Same.
They're from Alabama.
Oh, wow. Steve, you've been hanging out with Dodd way too long. Oh my God, you're being so corrupted right now. Okay, there's one thing I just want to say about Flash and Arrow as far as the crossovers.
Well, the Ronnie Raymond, his girlfriend, that's Killer Frost.
Yeah. Arrow was the back door for Flash's pilot, so it only makes sense that the characters from each series show up every now and then have at least one major crossover, which they've already done. And if they're going to have a second one, fine.
Actually, the backdoor pilot was actually scrubbed. So they didn't actually do his backdoor pilot in season 2. He was in season 2. He
introduced Barry, basically, right?
Yes, he was in season 2, but the actual Flash, the actual Flash backdoor pilot that was supposed to happen in season 2 didn't happen because CW decided to go ahead and give it a full season order.
Oh, okay. But point still.
But they also they're opening up doors to everything else. I mean, they got the Atom getting ready to come in, and they got
Cortana's
coming at some point.
I like Brandon Routh in this.
Oh, no.
Superman.
I like him. I've liked him in everything he's done. So I really like him in this. I like his character in this.
I think he plays his character very well.
Yes.
I'm hoping Constantine gets a second season because I know they haven't ordered the back 9.
Constantine looks like it's dead on arrival.
Have they started
Are you kidding,
production
man?
yet
The ratings have jumped week after week.
I think it's going to get canceled.
Have they started production yet
not.
again, though? Because it stopped last week. They stopped production.
Yeah, but they still filmed all 13 episodes. They're just not making more. So then now they're just going through post and finishing stuff. So you will see the complete 13. They're just not getting the back 9, which would bring it up to the 22 episode order you're used to seeing.
I wonder if it was only supposed to be 13 episodes, because that would make me really happy.
Well, a lot of first-year shows usually get 13 episodes, and then they make the decision over the summer, do we want to pick it up again?
Oh, yeah.
My
No, I
wife
totally
has said
get
stuff like Grey's Anatomy worked out like that.
I-
It's on
I-
season, like, 9
I
seasons.
totally get how that works and stuff like that, but I'm a big fan of the 12, 13 episode season structure anyways. Like,
I don't like it because I want more content, but I do like it works for certain series. Like Doctor Who, for example, works great in a 12 or 13 episode series, but a different show might not. And you may be right. Maybe Constantine would work better as a short series.
see, the way I look at like the shorter series is that they get to tell a tighter story, which I'm a sucker for story. I hate filler episodes. Plus, your effects budget can be
a little bit
more.
higher.
Case in point, the amazing looking show Hannibal, which NBC has kept on the air for 3 seasons with like 0 ratings.
They filmed that show not too far from where I live, actually.
Hannibal is probably one of the best looking shows on television.
According to TVByTheNumbers.com, it says on here that Constantine has been canceled but will air its remaining episodes.
Oh.
When was that?
Called it.
It says NBC opted not to pick up the back 9 episode order for the Rookie drama. In recent memory, every fall premiere Rookie show intended for a full season that was ended after 13 or fewer episodes in a non-WGA strike season was canceled. So
let me pose you guys this question to you guys. Gotham, real quick. Now, do you guys think Gotham would have gotten a full season order if Netflix hadn't paid for the rights to it up front?
No.
I think so.
Because it hasn't even gotten a season 2 yet, so.
I don't think so. I like Gotham. There are many aspects of it that I still don't care for. I'm just waiting for something to happen. I like that they're finally getting around to us seeing Jim and Harvey actually seeing eye to eye for the most part instead of being against each other.
And that was a light switch. That really annoyed me. I was like, one episode he was the tool bag dirty cop. The next one he's like, I'm as spotless as you are, Jim. Let's do this. I was like, nope, not buying it.
Yeah. I just don't know. Like, I'm just not sure. I mean, I think that Gotham will end up getting a second season. If not, Fox will. I really hope they don't do this because it would be a damn shame if they did. If Fox doesn't give Gotham a second full season, they'll hero it. That's exactly what they'll do. They'll do like a season 2.1 and then 3.5 and 10 years down the line, oh, hey, let's reboot it with a movie. I don't know. I mean, I'm still enjoying Gotham. I don't really care for
I'm honestly
Fish.
surprised how good it is.
I mean, it's in comparison to a lot of the other superhero shows, it's okay. Like, okay, if you're going to hold Gotham up against Flash and Arrow, it's at least third out of the 3. But I mean, it has its own little, quirks to it. I really enjoyed the whole Bruce and Selena thing with them interacting. I thought that was cool.
I don't. There's something in each episode that just
bugs the crap out of you.
It just bugs the ever-loving crap out of me. Especially the part like, don't get me wrong, I thought the portrayal of forgive me if I'm spoiling anything here for anybody, but Victor Zsasz showing up. Mm-hmm. I thought that was really cool. But when he goes into a police precinct and tells all the cops to get out, so he can basically murder another cop, mm-hmm. and they all leave. That's where I lost it in that episode. Because in the ensuing gunfight that takes place, the 3 people that walked in that precinct couldn't even take out 1 cop. So you're telling me that whole precinct full of cops couldn't take out 3 people?
No. Yeah,
like,
don't get me wrong. There's plenty of stuff wrong with the show.
Like if you're gonna set to me, if you're gonna set something up like that, at least come through on what you're setting up. Don't like make Gordon out to be like some super cop, because I'm sorry, Gordon's a great cop, but he's not a super cop.
He's not Batman.
And if you're gonna set these 3 people up that walked into a precinct and told everyone to get out, and you're gonna set them up as badasses, you might want them to be able to walk out with Gordon. You know, like I don't know. I would have had more respect if the 3 of them would have been able to capture Gordon, and then he has to get out of that situation. But just stuff like that just irritates the crap out of me. It's like all the parkour in the first season, the first half of Arrow, when there's like fire escape ladders like right next to him. It's that stuff all over again. It's like they're really trying too hard.
You're really gonna love the Flash Part 2 for Arrow then, because there's a scene in the Arrow cave with the Flash, with the parkour stuff. It was amazing.
I like the part. Don't get me wrong. I like the parkour stuff when it makes sense. But when he's in an alley doing parkour in plain clothes and there's a fire escape ladder, I mean, one you can explain. The other one, you look like a crazy person scaling a building if someone catches you. Anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm signing the Save Constantine petition right now.
Oh God!
The actors even started that one. It's not going to go anywhere. It might come back.
You never
Netflix
know, man. Look
something.
at Jericho.
Yeah, look at Jericho. I don't want that to happen.
I want to, but that's the thing, though. I don't like the fact that we never get to see the supernatural side of DC on TV.
What channel did that come out on?
NBC.
Yes.
What, Jared?
Yeah, well, everything goes on NBC and dies.
What was on NBC?
I don't even watch NBC.
Constantine.
I think Constantine would do very well on Netflix.
Well, see, here's the thing. They canceled... NBC canceled A to Z and Bad Judge, but didn't... They just stopped production on Constantine. They did that all at about the same time. I think if they're going to cancel Constantine, they would have announced it at the same time.
Yeah, like there's no official announcement yet.
I think they're gauging it on purpose,
gauging it now.
Like they're baiting it, almost like the Deadpool trailer.
One show that surprised me that got canceled this year, it was an ABC comedy called Selfie.
It just sounds fucking asinine.
I generally enjoyed the hell out of that.
Here's the thing. I think, and I've only seen one episode of Selfie, so I don't really have anything like against it, like hardcore. So I'm not going to say anything, but I feel like ABC trapped themselves for the 2nd season in a row with dumb ass titles. Because Trophy Wife last year with Malin Ackerman was actually a really good show. And the title, like Trophy Wife, was like the dumbest title on the face of the planet, which probably turned off a lot of people from tuning into it. And I'm pretty sure the same thing might have happened with Selfie, because with Selfie, you're going to get a demographic of people. You're aiming for a demographic of people that probably don't watch TV on a regular basis. Like, they're going to watch it on their phone via Hulu.
You're talking about the dumbass people that shoot duck faces in their phone and think it's cool.
Yeah, like, if you name that something else, I'm pretty sure people would have watched it.
I think another thing, although this kind of gives me hope, eventually, they did release the last episodes on Hulu.
Yep.
One new episode for the next 6 weeks until they've shown all 13. I'd like to see that show resurrected, because honestly, Karen Gillan and John Cho had this amazing chemistry together. And the black guy who plays the boss, he was like a real hard ass in something else. I can't remember what it was.
I'll have to watch more, but I said,
give it a shot though. Like, it does get better, and I'm generally sad that got shit canned.
I will say I'm sad. Just real quick, going back to Constantine before we get too far away from it. I'm really sad because NBC started pulling the Fox crap where they're airing the episodes out of order.
Yeah, because that
works out so well.
Possession should have been episode 2.
Yeah, that works out so well for TV shows.
Sounded like they wanted to kill it.
I don't think NBC wants to have anything that is too weird. You know what I mean?
But they have Grimm and Hannibal. I think that's where they should go. Like,
yeah, that does work for them.
I just don't think. See that when I sit down to watch Hannibal, I've only seen the first episode. I do want to watch more because I don't feel like it's fair to judge a show off of one episode. But I feel like when I sit down, I try to compare it to other like shows on their network, and it's like it doesn't get the same treatment as like Hannibal does or Grimm. Like both of those shows are better than what I've seen of Constantine.
I think the main reason I like Constantine is I like the actor, Matt Ryan. Like, he was Edward Kenway in Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, but he has just this swagger with the role that when I think of John Constantine, when I think of the Hellblazer comics, I think of him. Looks the part, he sounds the part. I don't know, that's my Constantine, not fucking Keanu Reeves. I don't know. There's something about that There's something about that series. I hope somehow it gets saved because I think network TV could use a little more diversity. But then again, I kind of wonder if people are getting superheroed out.
Wait, did they recast somebody from the from the pilot?
Yes, the woman who was the psychic was recast because they're like, you're fucking annoying.
Oh, good. Yeah,
she
was annoying.
The character of Z.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm trying to think what other network has really weird shit. I haven't seen any of that Once Upon a Time, though. And that looks fucked up and weird.
I haven't seen season 4, but it's one that I watch. I have to marathon Once Upon a Time. I cannot do one episode at a time. It has to be marathoned.
So you wait till the entire season's over?
No, I'll usually wait until I've got like 4 or 5 episodes stocked up. But now I have like the entire like first half of the 4th season like saved up to watch. So like I'll blitz through that and I'll be like, that was probably really cool. But if I watch it like one episode at a time, it's the most annoying thing on the planet.
It's been annoying anyway.
It's kind of like with Breaking Bad. That's a show I like to marathon because I don't like not knowing. Show I have to watch again. Anyway, where else can we? Okay. Does anybody here watch The Walking Dead?
Yep.
Nope.
Yes.
No.
I thought it was such bullshit what they pulled on their Facebook page this past week.
Oh, I don't follow it.
The major Facebook spoiler before the West Coast had even seen it.
Oh.
Although I'm happy that it went the way that it did because it was so shocking. But then again, I kind of think they're playing that card a little too often. So I don't know. Well, I don't know.
I think all these shows
I think it's been really good though.
I know 1 out of the 4 of us has been on this show, but I'm really getting sick of comic book men.
It's not very good this year.
This past week they brought in Ernie Hudson and they brought in Winston, and it's like he just looks so uncomfortable to be there. He couldn't get out of there fast enough. I
kind of wonder if that show's kind of running out of steam, or they're not picking up cool items enough. Because it always seems to be like there's the story and then there's the stuff that comes in. When it was an hour long, you could do more stuff.
Yeah.
I just think people are getting tired of reality TV finally.
Yes. Thank you.
I like it. I really do. And not just because I've been on it, but just I miss the hour-long format. I think you could do much more with it.
To me, reality television has always been, and I've always felt like this, but I didn't really quite know how to express it. And then I was either watching some gladiatorial movie, or I was watching Spartacus, the Blood and Sand on Showtime, and somebody said something about that in those days the gladiatorial combat was about keeping the masses entertained so they didn't overthrow the government and like give them something else to focus on so they're not focusing on what their government is doing. And I have always felt that is what reality television is. Like reality television is the modern equivalent of that. It's giving you something to distract the masses from actual stuff that is happening around them, so people can get away with the government can get away with doing all this shady stuff.
Well,
and I know
can
that,
say that for any form of entertainment, though.
Right? And I understand, and I don't like going down the conspiracy route. I'm not like a big in the whole conspiracy theory thing, but it's just like that's the way I've always felt about reality television ever since its inception. The only reality television I've really watched, I guess you would consider them documentaries on like the History Channel or stuff. I'm not talking like Orange County Choppers or like the stupid like Duck Dynasty crap like that. I'm talking about like
MythBusters sort of thing.
Like maybe I've watched MythBusters every once in a while, but like that, to me that's educational. Like anything that actually was educational that I've watched is fine. But like Dancing with the Stars, Survivor, Big Brother, all that crap, anything on MTV. Like TLC now, like garbage, just feeding the masses so they don't pay attention to what is happening to the world around them.
TLC needs to change its call letters. It is no longer the learning channel; it's the laughing channel. Yeah, it just
TRC.
Yeah. As far as Dancing with the Stars, I have never watched that damn show. I have no interest in that show. I didn't until the finale when one of the freestyles was a Super Mario Brothers dance. That was pretty awesome.
Well, that's okay.
I haven't seen it.
I'll replace Dancing with the Stars with The Voice.
I used to be a huge fan of the show. I used to watch it every season, and then they started doing other weird... Like, season 3, I think they had a total of 64 contestants, and then as seasons went on, they went back down to 32 or whatever it was supposed to be. And I just don't... What really pisses me off about The Voice now is the song selections suck.
Like, what do they pick from?
Pop culture.
Pretty much, yeah.
So if I wanted to do Linkin Park, could I do it?
No. You could do it, but, I mean... No.
I'm more likely to go on if I sing Katy Perry.
They're more likely to have you do Jennifer Lawrence's song from Hunger Games than.
Oh God.
That's kind of stupid.
Just throwing that in there. I'm being an ass.
Yeah. All right. Let me see here.
Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Happy about that one.
Officially official now.
I think that's excellent casting.
Oh yeah, inspired.
I've said this before when he was up for the role, like the rumor was that it was going to be him. I make this joke all the time. Yeah, he has the personality that I think Stephen Strange should have, Doctor Strange should have and everything. I think he can pull the character off, but he doesn't have the chin. Like, that's my only complaint, is he doesn't have Doctor Strange's chin.
I'm sure they could give him a prosthetic chin. Shut up, stop.
I thought of Ocean's 13 and the fucking nose job that Matt Damon.
I just make it. I'm just joking about it. Like, I'm totally stoked about his casting in it. I'm just saying, awesome. Like, that's the one thing. Is like he doesn't have like the stoic chin that Doctor Strange has. And I'm not even saying I want them to give him like a prosthetic chin or anything like that. I think he'll be fine. He'll be great.
I think it'd be hilarious.
I'm hoping. Here's my thing. I'm hoping, because he's a TV star too, that we might see Doc Strange in the Netflix stuff, because that's kind of his peeps.
They've talked about it because the Defenders is Doctor Strange's group. Yeah, it's his peeps. It's his buddies. So I hope they do one or two like big crossovers. I just want to know who the big bad guy is going to be. Whether it's going to be Baron Mordo, Dormammu, Schumer Gorath, or God knows what. Either way, I'm pretty hyped for it. And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just want to see Benedict Cumberbatch spout nonsense in front of Tony Stark.
And he'll be like, I didn't understand a word of that. I think that'd be great. Man, that's a great scene right there.
Yeah. So anyways, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you're about to say?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., mid-season finale next week. They've definitely set up the Inhumans crap now with the Kree has now officially been official. They're setting up the Terrigen bomb thing. Will likely tie into something later on this season. They're already planting the seeds for Inhumans, which is, I think, 2018.
Yep. That's the long game, people.
Yeah, I'm really surprised how entertaining the show has been week to week. It's consistently really good TV. And having the girl that plays Mockingbird on there, I can't think of her name. She was in G.I. Joe.
Adrienne Padalecki.
Yeah, she is awesome.
Yes, she is. I liked her.
First time I ever saw her was on Supernatural. So
I liked her in Friday Night Lights.
I just hope I just hope the series keeps going the way it's going. I also like how the really good episodes, they don't need to have an established Marvel bad guy in it to be really interesting.
No, my only issue with this season, and it's a really good season. It picked up, it hit the ground running from where season 1 left off, which is great. But man, someone needs to pay their light budget. Every scene is
because it's always so dark.
It is so dark. Every scene, like it doesn't. And I'm wondering if they're doing that so like they don't have to pay attention to what's in like the background because like they don't have to pay attention to their sets as much, so they can do things in other places. But like every shot of a character's face is like silhouetted with black. Like you can't see anything going on like around them. It's weird.
I'd be very curious to know who the director of photography is, whether he's kind of known for this or not.
Well, I know Whedon, like from Firefly, he's a big fan of like, environmental lighting. Like if the light's not actually there, then there isn't going to be a light source. But that wasn't a problem on season 1. Season 1 was like really bright. It's like they toned down the lighting to make it look like a more serious show.
So maybe that's what they're doing to show the things that they have to work in the shadow, so to speak.
It could be because like Hydra can definitely afford their light bill.
Now, I also kind of wonder if they're in the back of their mind trying to get us ready for Agent Carter because they're operating out of Agent Carter's old base. So that might explain why the lighting sucks because it's been around since the 40s. That premieres in like weeks.
I think that's
January 8th.
Doesn't I thought it started like right after the mid-season finale. Like it
starts in January and S.H.I.E.L.D. comes back on March 5th.
Right, it's gonna run well because they learned their lesson with the Once Upon a Time in Wonderland business to not run the shows together, but to run the shows in like opposite each other.
Mm-hmm. Wait, how many episodes does season 2 of S.H.I.E.L.D. have?
22.
Yep.
And how many have they done so far?
They want to tie it into Age of Ultron, so they want to have a longer run.
Well, how many have they done so far?
This would be episode 10, I think.
1 second.
9 or 10.
Where is it? Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
So if they've only done 9 or 10 episodes, it still means
8. So I think 9 just happened, and there's 10. So yeah.
Okay, so if it goes,
Carter runs, I think, for 8 episodes.
I thought it was more. Is it only 8?
It's like an 8 or 11 episode miniseries or something like that. Perfect. So if S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't coming back till what'd you say, March?
Yeah.
That doesn't have a hell of a lot of time to get the rest of the episodes out before
March, April. That's 3 months. That's March, April, May. That's another 12. Well, that's 8. Like 10 episodes? Maybe it's only 20. I don't know. No, it'll tie in, but it'll go past Age of Ultron, just like Captain America did.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It won't end with Age of Ultron.
It'll run into it.
No, I was just thinking of, and I know I shouldn't think like this, but I'm used to it, just thinking in the normal aspect of when a TV show usually starts in the fall and ends in the spring. It's usually around last week of May, first week of June. Yeah. So that's why I was asking, like, how many episodes does that show still have left if they start in March?
I think of what else is kind of worth mentioning. Doctor Who's Christmas special happens in a couple of weeks. I haven't finished the end of this season yet. I know Capaldi signed on for at least another season. I think they're keeping the companion around, Claire. That's what I've heard. Though she was supposed to exit this season, but give her more money or something.
I haven't seen all of this season. It's
pretty good, but it's very up and down.
I wasn't overjoyed with the first episode, so that's kept me from watching more.
Yeah.
But I've made my decision. I posted on Twitter that because I have more shows now, but I have in my iTunes. Come on, you stupid thing! Tell me how many I have.
Nice.
Anyways, I have like 120 some odd episodes of TV shows that I haven't watched.
Jesus
So
Christ.
I decided that between now and when all the TV shows, the big TV shows come back, anything I haven't gotten caught up on is getting cut. So
A lot of shows.
Yeah. I mean, one's like The Americans is automatically going to get a pass because I have the entire second season of that to watch, and I could probably blitz that in a day if I tried.
Season 2, it was good, but it wasn't as awesome as season 1 was.
Yeah, I tried. I started the first episode, but it didn't catch me.
They went for more of the dramatic kind of aspect to it. As the season ended, it got better and better, but the whole first 2/3 of season 2 is just... I just found myself so bored with it. I'm hoping season 3 they pick it back up with some action and excitement. They went more domestic in season 2 than they originally had in season 1, so that's probably why I found it a little boring. Not enough spy action. Because it deals with a lot of Paige's issues. It deals with a few issues of Henry's, which are the kids. And for those that don't know, they're Philip and Elizabeth's kids. And I don't know. I know they're playing a long game. I don't think FX is. I don't think it's in danger. I mean, since it is getting a third season, I don't think it's in danger of being canceled or anything. But it drug on in season 2 for me.
139 episodes of TV that I have missed.
Good Lord.
I think during the break, I'm going to try and power through Arrow seasons 1 and 2.
I already did that. I did that the last 2 months.
that is the best way to watch it because there's so much stuff that happens in season 2 that calls back to season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. I'm going to try... My wife wants you to try a show called How to Get Away with Murder, and I hear it's quite good. She wants to try me on a show called Red Band Society, but that just got canceled, so what's the point?
Okay, yes, it got canceled, but it is a good show.
But why waste your time if it got canceled?
Well, Steve, shut up.
No, I agree.
The ratings were terrible for it, though.
Because if it... I could see if it was still ongoing and then you picked it up, but if it got canceled and
you get into it
never actually got to complete its story, there's nothing worse than watching a show that got like a season and then got into like part of season 2 and they're like, oh, we're shit canning it.
I don't want them to rush it like they did Revolution. They just kind of wrapped that up way too fast.
Oh, no, they don't. I just watched the quote-unquote mid-season / last episode this week. They didn't rush anything. They left it, basically, they left you dangling off a cliff. But it is a fairly good, funny show. It wasn't, at least in my personal opinion, the most original show of the year, because we haven't had a show like this. We've never had a show where it's all about, terminally ill kids. Terminally ill kids in a hospital and what goes on with it. Yeah, sure, we've had ER, we've had,
House.
Not House.
See, that's another thing.
House.
I'm so sick of all the medical dramas.
Well, there's just as many cop dramas.
Oh my god. Okay, I don't know. There's something... My wife watches a bunch of them. She watches NCIS, Criminal Minds, which I can't fucking stand. She watches Grey's Anatomy. See, I liked House because I thought that show was more about the medicine than the people, though the people were still important. And I've sat down and watched a couple episodes of Grey's Anatomy with her, just more or less out of spite. And I sat there one night. She was watching it in bed, and I've got my back to the wall, I'm facing the wall. I'm like, Hey Blair, let's play the Grey's Anatomy game. What's that, you might ask? I'm going to tell you what bullshit character 1 says to bullshit character 2. I'm going to describe the entire episode to you without seeing one thing. Could do it beat for beat.
For me, with Grey's, I've watched it. My sister got me into it when it was in its 4th season, but I've seen it all. She bought seasons 1 through 3 on DVD when we were living together, and I watched them. And ever since then, it's been on my thing. And yes, look, exactly what you said. The show is totally predictable, and it's definitely not like a must watch for me. It's definitely like a train wreck show. But at this point, being being 11 seasons in, I keep watching just to see like how bad the scenarios get. I do not watch it because
for the
it's
Walking
good
Dead
television.
crossover to happen.
Well, that would require Rick to get out of Georgia.
Oh my god! Like, it's so stupid. And there's this other show which is the ultimate coincidence show, that Criminal Minds. And I've had so many people fight with me on this. People I thought that were my friends that have backstabbed me. They're like, "Who's smarter, Spencer or Batman?" Hey, that Spencer dude. I'm like, "No, fuck you, world's greatest detective."
Sherlock Holmes?
I have to play my trump card of, fine then, Tony Stark, bitch. But the criminal procedure shows.
The only thing about Criminal Minds that I know anything about it is the fact that it has Thomas Gibson, who used to be Greg from Dharma and Greg. That's the only thing I know about that show, yeah.
I think, I like him, and isn't Mandy Patinkin in it too, or am I thinking of something else?
I don't know.
Inigo Montoya. What the hell show was he in? I don't know. It's going to drive me nuts. But yeah, and I don't know. There's even like the CSIs are getting super stupid, but supposedly that's going to get canceled this year.
Well, won't CBS collapse in on itself if they cancel those?
It will implode. It'll be nothing but The Price is Right reruns until now and the end of time.
They'd have to bring back Bob Barker, though.
Man, that's a guy who should have his head frozen like Walt Disney, so we can reanimate him in like 100 years.
Futurama style?
Heck, oh my god, I hope his microphone is in the Smithsonian.
I think Drew Carey stole it.
That son of a bitch. That's Bob's. Get your own, asshole. I don't know. There's just there's so many shows on TV. They all seem to blend together. And
see, that's why I liked Red Band, because it seemed to stand out. Sure, it is it is a medical drama, but it's more about what is going on with the kids than anything else. Which is so interesting about it. And it's got some pretty good acting in it. I mean,
I really watched 1 or 2 episodes of it. It's decent.
Does anyone remember Eli Stone?
Barely.
I know the name, but I don't know why.
I think that was like
I never watched
one of the last feel-good shows. Like the shows I would watch actually made me like feel like good at the end of it. Like I don't know. It was a lawyer with like it was a lawyer drama, procedural drama thing, and then it had like religious, like subtle religious undertones. Like the main character had an aneurysm that was getting ready to pop or something like that, and it was giving him visions of Michael Bolton, I think it was. And it was a really fun show. I honestly felt good after watching like each episode, and like I felt good as like a person. I don't know. It was weird. It's like one of the only TV shows to ever do that.
One of the shows that does that for me right now, it's a comedy on ABC called The Goldbergs. That show reminds me so much of my childhood. I've actually become friends with the creator, Adam Goldberg, over the last year and a half. And I don't know, that's a show, it generally brings me back to 1980 something and just seeing all the stupid shit he used to do as a kid. And after every episode, I don't know, I feel generally kind of happy how I grew up. And there's one episode, it was last year, where the dad met his brother on Thanksgiving and they make up, and I got to thinking about how a similar situation happened in my family with 2 family members feuding on Thanksgiving of all fucking holidays, because in Canada we're a lot less taser happy on Thanksgiving. And I don't know, there's that show I always feel good about watching. I think on Rotten Tomatoes it has like a 100% fresh rating right now, and it's gotten so much funnier in season 2. One of the actors on there, Troy Gentile, I can't remember how it's pronounced, that plays Adam's older brother. This kid, my God, I hope he ends up in movies, and he does comedies like, say, 21 Jump Street. This kid is fucking hilarious. Like, he just has this awesome sense of comedic timing, and he plays such a moron on that show. Like, for example, in this week's episode, he's totally sells the line, like, Adam breaks his arm, and he has to make up a cool story as to why it happened. And he's like, say it happened about ninjas. And Adam's like, no, that's stupid. He's like, sharks? That's even stupider. It was like, what about ninja sharks? And just it was the way he delivered that line and that look of enthusiasm. Like, God damn, this kid's going to go places. I really hope he does. And the mom of that show from Reno 911, Wendy, can't pronounce her last name. Amazing. I'd like to see her get nominated for, like, Best Supporting Character in a comedy or something.
My sister keeps trying to get me to watch the Goldbergs, but I haven't done it yet.
It's worth it.
I think the only episode outside the pilot that I actually watched was when they used the touch.
Yeah.
Sadly,
one of the things I do for Adam, because I'm a douchebag like this, is whenever he shows a shot of his room and there's always Transformers in it, I'm like, that wasn't out at that time, right? Like, I'll just correct him for fun because I'm an asshole like that. Or like certain toys, because that's one of the main reasons I watch that show, because I'm like, I had that. In the episode, there was an episode in season 1. They have a Burger King Starscream toy in there from the 2007 movie.
God,
I'm like, motherfucker, did you not check that? It's like in it for one frame, but I'm like, no. Betrayal.
You got the damn 80s hair and sweaters, but you can't remember the damn toys.
Exactly. Although I remember they used the USS Flag in one episode, and he got permission from Sony to go buy it, and I'm like, dude, you better have taken that thing home. He's like, no, it sits in a warehouse. I actually have to buy it from the show if I want it. And I don't have $3,000 for it.
Oh my God.
Somewhere there's a mint condition USS Flag locked up in a Sony warehouse. Yeah. We have a mission, boys. Where it is. Now continue your podcast while I plan a robbery, Ocean's 11 style.
Plan a robbery. Nice.
Oh my God, dude! If I could raid like a toy museum, I would. Seriously, there would be no end to the shenanigans that I would pull.
You just leave them Dumb and Dumber IOUs.
Exactly. I promise I will take care of them. Goodbye.
Hey, Mike, did you see the IDW announcement this week?
No.
They put out the press release for their Gem and the Holograms ongoing comic series coming next year.
I saw the artwork for that, and I really like those updated looks.
It's kind of funny. I don't know where the story's going to go, because the blurb says that that they have on the thing says that through the magic of a long-lost gift, Jerrica Benton has to overcome her stage fright. So I'm not. It actually says, let me see here. It's the 21st century, and Gem and the Holograms are 21st century girls. Meet Jerrica Benton, the gifted singer of the Holograms, a band that has the right look, the right sound, but the thing is holding them back. Jerrica's crippling stage fright. Luckily, Jerrica's about to find help in the most unlikely of places when she discovers a forgotten present left by her father, and what she finds is truly outrageous.
That would be really cool if every month that book came out, they put out a new single.
That would be interesting.
On like iTunes.
That would be interesting. The crazy thing is, they are really going over the top with this because of what is going on with it. They are... The first 4 covers are going to be the original Gem and the 3 hologram girls, or 4, or whatever. His first 5 covers is going to be that, and then the next are going to be the Misfits. But they're both going to end up being foil covers, and then they're going to have a foil collector box for the box set. So the first,
I hate you, and this is why. As you told me this, I'm actually typing my comic book guy on Facebook. I'm like, dude, you are ordering me these right the fuck now. I know I'm poor, but I don't care. I love Gem and the Holograms.
Let me see here. I'm sorry to derail the show, Steve, but let me see here.
Well, you're not. You're making me spend money.
Let's see. Don't miss the chance to get the 5 stunning rainbow foil covers that will be available for issue 1. 1 for each hologram. Oh, that's just for the first issue. That's not for the first. That's just for issue. You have. Wow. Each hologram by artist Amy Meberson, plus the whole band by series artist Ross Campbell, in deluxe rainbow foil and hologram collectible box. A second box set for issue 2 will feature another set of 4 covers by Meberson and a group shot by Campbell, this time starring Jem's greatest nemesis, the Misfits. So the first 2 issues you're going to be spending just for the first 2 issues a crap ton of money.
Ask how much I spend on my Little Pony variant covers.
Oh,
the answer will make you cry.
I know, but I'm just saying that, like, I originally thought, and I should know this because I put a podcast on it about it this week, but I originally thought when I read the press release that it was the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 issues, and no, it's all different covers and rainbow foil covers and boxes for the first 2 issues of the series.
I ultimately would love to get a hologram Kimber cover, because I love that character. Biggest idiot in the show, I think, but I love her. Cartoon crush, just saying.
Yeah.
Please get off this uncomfortable topic before I say anything.
Oh boy. What else came out this week? Good.
I think, to not run over obscenely long, I think we'll cover one more thing.
Obscenely long on episode 69.
Well, with you two, you know, doing your gemgasm there with each other. The Batman Arkham Knight trailers.
Yep, that came out.
Came out.
Interesting.
The first part was better than the second
video
part.
game?
Well, the second part hasn't actually come out yet. That was a teaser for the second part. The second part comes out the 6th.
Okay, at the end of the first one, it says come back on this date for the second part, and then at the end of the second one, it says come back on this date for the end. It's not. It's in 3 parts. The second part is not. The second part is with the Batmobile, and that's not as cool as the first part.
Well, I thought it was just reused crap from the first one, but
I could care less about the Batmobile. I think it looks so dumb.
Talking about the video game, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yet another on the review pile. God damn it! I want that Batmobile edition, though.
I want the Batmobile, and I want the game for PC.
I'm trying to think, how the hell am I going to convince the company to give that to me?
I'm curious. Like I agree with my wife here. We were watching it, and obviously we're watching it on YouTube, and it's all compressed and all this other stuff. But it doesn't. I didn't see anything that yet in the game that has screamed.
Next gen.
Why? Yeah, like why is this? Like why is it only on those systems? Like I can't even imagine, you know, Warner Brothers not wanting to hit the 140 million PS3s and 360s that are out there. Like, why are you limiting yourself to like 20 million consoles?
Because now we're in that weird transition phase between consoles.
But I think
they want to start driving the hardware sales.
I think this is different, and I don't think Warner Brothers is that. I don't think Arkham is that game. Like, and especially when Arkham is one of Warner Brothers' biggest games, like they're not like.
When does the game come out? Before or after E3?
June.
Okay, so
like,
around E3.
Yeah, I think it's the week of E3, which means it's going to get buried under E3 coverage, which is odd. But I'm not knocking the game or anything. I'm questioning the logic behind not at least not porting it. Like, why is there not a port? Like, even if it's not Rocksteady doing it, why is there not a port of this game on
maybe
the 360
they can't
and PS3?
do it. It's kind of like maybe Dying Light, where they scrapped the last gen versions to focus purely on next.
Well,
probably
it's
something we haven't seen yet.
Well, I mean, Tomb Raider. I mean, the next Tomb Raider is not just on Xbox One; it's also on the 360, and it'll eventually come to the PS3 and PS4. So I don't know, like that to me, like that's a bigger franchise than Arkham. Like, but that's still hitting everything. Like, I don't. with Warner Brothers games not being that big outside of like the Lego games and Mortal Kombat, like it feels weird to limit this game to 2 specific platforms and that install base. I'm just saying it feels weird to me, like that it's only on those. Because I mean it's even weird. I mean Ubisoft's the only one that I've really seen do the whole like we're only on next gen with this particular game, but they still made one for the other guys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't. In this console transition is, to me, it doesn't feel like the other ones did, because a lot of what we're seeing is just basically like graphical updates to things and some online social features that the other consoles can't handle. But aside from that stuff, it's weird to me when I still like, do I want to see games released just on next gen hardware? Absolutely. It's just weird to me that to see a game like this one giving up that huge install base. Like I see like Microsoft, they're releasing Halo 5 only on Xbox One. There's going to be no 360 version, but that's Microsoft using it to sell Xbox Ones. And like Sony with Uncharted 4, they're going to use that to sell PS4s. Unless there was some kind of like money or incentive from both companies, it's weird for Warner Brothers, who is a third party, to not hit everything they possibly could. That's all I'm saying.
Like, I'll be getting it for the PC only because I'm not buying a new console.
I mean, heck, even Titanfall was hyped up as like, the Call of Duty killer for the Xbox One, but it still had a 360 port. Like,
I wish it had a 360 port because I'd rather play it there, but
it's not bad on PC.
Well, I've got an Xbox 360 controller, and which I'm sure will work fine, and I can't afford to buy a new console, and I really don't want to anyway.
But
so,
I mean, I'm excited for Arkham. I mean, hopefully it's. I'm hoping it's more like Origins, but plays more like Asylum in terms of its just mechanic, because I felt like it was just off. The timing was all off with Origin.
I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be closer to its roots.
It looks pretty as hell.
Yes, it does. But I think that's pretty much it. Anybody got anything they want to bring up before we go?
No. I'm set.
I'm good.
Okay, so those that haven't seen the GCRN WarZ Round 1 Part 2 is out for voting. Go ahead and do that. I did notice that somebody mentioned that it says icons when it should actually be iconic characters, because they're not all like the first tier
icon
characters.
And iconic is, to me, that means the same thing.
Yeah.
I agree with him.
When I see it, I think icon is in that's the main one, and iconic is like they're main ones of their games, but they're not necessarily.
See, if you say iconic, I still have issues with the list, but I'm just staying out of it.
I didn't make the list.
I know you didn't make the list.
I'm innocent. I made the image.
I'm just staying out of it.
So, but yeah, go ahead and vote and do that. That's going on right now, and then next week we start round 2, which I will say round 1 and round 2, I'm thinking I'm going to be dead on for my estimates, and then or for round 1 in its entirety. Round 2, I have a feeling I know who's winning that too. I have 2 scenarios that I've made that I think it's going to be one or the other. It's either going to be a realistic outcome, or it's going to be a popularity outcome. And I have one made for each.
I cry collusion if it's not Kirby.
What's that?
I say collusion if it's not Kirby.
I don't think Kirby's going to make it to the final round. I don't. But time will tell. So yes. So there's that. And well, you can interact with us in the following ways. You can call the voicemail line, 502-526-5821. You can email us, feedback@geekcastradio.com. You can comment on the episode post on the website. And you can get a hold of us on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @SCP21, and yours are?
Mine is Birdman Dodd.
Mine is @BoothNinja81.
And I think TFG1 Mike bailed.
He's dead.
So
did he?
Yeah, he's dead.
I hope he wasn't doing the recording.
Yeah, good thing. So as always, get altered, get geeky with the Altered Geeks. See you next week.